With so many lighting options out there to illuminate your garage, it's hard to know which one to go. I need to get rid of that sad floodlight up there, and I've got one more on the wall up there to get rid of. So I've got these floodlights made by Onforu. They're sold on Amazon and their own website. Pretty inexpensive piece, to be totally honest. I've got two of them. We're going to put them up in place and see how bright we can make this shop. I've got the door open. It's a beautiful day outside, which is why it looks so bright right now. But I'll close the door and you'll be able to see what that light puts out. And we'll compare it to one of these and both of them when I get them up. All right, full transparency. I was sent these after a company reached out to me and saw the lighting that I had in the shop, and they wanted me to put these up and show the difference between what I had and what these little guys can do. So let's get these out of the box and see what they can do. So it looks like we've got two floodlights, set those aside. The base plates for mounting them to the wall or receptacle. The instructions, as well as all of the hardware, wire nuts, bits and pieces that we need to put it together, and some nice foam packing material. So we'll just set that aside. And let's take a look at these lights and see what we've got. There's two of them in there. Nice construction. They feel like they're a cast aluminum. The knuckle is easily done with a Phillips head or a socket. Your typical 3-wire installation for 110 AC, black-white ground. These are stranded wires that appear, nope, they're not solder. They just kind of look like it for a brief moment. But stranded wire, there's two of them in there. Here's the mounting base plate. It's got a nice foam isolator for weather stripping. These are also a cast aluminum of some sort. Easy mounting for the receptacle that I've got on the wall. So let's get these in place and see how they do. So I closed the garage door and managed to trap two songbirds in here. So if you're tweeting, that's what's going on. So this is the lighting with just that one floodlight up. Now the camera is doing a very good job of taking the light that's here and making it look presentable, but everything in here is pretty yellow. There's a lot of hard shadows. It really isn't particularly bright. So let's start doing the install of the one that's up there first, because the previous owners left that uninstalled for me. So here's where I'm starting. That receptacle right there is missing its light, and there's a bird cruising around. So I'm just going to take those wires. I did already climb up there with a multimeter and verify that I do have 120 volts AC for this, so that way that's a good candidate to put the base plate in and mount the floodlight. Now I do have that circuit off. I've got my other lights on. The door is wide open and there's still birds flying around. Boy, I think I'm going to get dive bombed when they decide to fly out if I'm in the way of the door. This could get exciting. Missouri man killed by bird falling off ladder. All right, so it's a good thing they give you all that foam, because I peel the plastic off to look at it. Need something to put it down without beating up the lens. So first off, I just took their foam thing and just broke the outer ring off. We're going to put it on. Why? Just because it makes me feel better that I'm using the pieces. So I'm just going to set this guy in place. Something roughly like that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Clearly, mine is far from it. Okay, that's laughably bad. Oh well, welcome to life. And just so that you know, this nut here is 1 1/16", or grab your big crescent wrench, and that way you can climb up the ladder, point this thing where you want it to, tighten it down. So I'm just going to start by getting the wires through there. And this spun down. Come on. There we go. Now I know that my existing, look at that. My existing holes are diagonal, so I'm just going to start something like that and just tighten the lock nut down just a little bit. Makes me feel better. I've got it partway in the right place to start with. I'm also going to loosen this up a little bit. I'm going to take a screwdriver with me, so that way I can make sure I can get to those two connections easily. So next up the ladder. So I've just safely removed the wires, set them out of the way. I've got the cover, and let me look, because looking through the camera and trying to do this doesn't work. It does match the existing screw holes that are already here. So this guy can just go right in place with the knuckle lamp screwed to this. And so yeah, next step is to grab some wire nuts. I did clean up the connections just a little bit, so I will have a good connection there. And let's start getting this thing pieced together. The connections are made, and I climbed up the ladder, and I realized I probably should have brought more wire nuts, because I always manage to drop one. Luckily, this time I didn't. So the connections are all made. They're nice and tight. As always, after you put the wire nuts on, give it a tug and make sure everything is tight. Luckily, I didn't have to have 8 hands. The light was able to sit up there and stay captive, because I don't want to drop it. It's a nice looking light. I would like it to light the shop and do its job. So let's get the wiring pulled together and those screws in and see what it looks like. The light is in place. It's looking pretty smart. I did tighten that down with my 1 1/16" wrench. Yes, I carried it up here in my back pocket. I also brought some zip ties, because I don't know what that wiring is going to do, or if I needed to tie it out of the way. So I've just kind of got this pointed generally in a good direction. Let's close the door to the garage and hit the switch and see what happens. Okay, here's the moment of truth. Oh, look at that. Okay. So it looks like that's some pretty good light. Now keep in mind, that guy is much yellower, much warmer in the spectrum than that guy, which is pretty cool. I think that's a pretty good improvement. Let's just walk over to the four-wheeler and just see how it looks. I mean, here's my hand. Pretty bright, nice and good lighting. I think I am going to take that guy, yeah, that one right there, hard to look at it, and tip it so that way, tip it a little bit further so that way I can illuminate more of what's here. Because the plans do call that I will have more lighting here in the middle. I do have these guys which are temporary in place, so they work for now. More wiring to come, but short term, that guy looks pretty nice. Oh, the surprises you find. I just opened this up and a whole small mountain of Japanese lady beetles fell out. They're kind of a pest in these parts. I also found a mud dauber nest, which made me cringe a little bit. So fair warning, when you're digging into this stuff, you never know what you may find. All right, the second one is up on the back wall, the one on the front wall. Let's turn off the temporary lights, close the door. All right, here we go. Oh, that is muchly improved over that one sad floodlight that came off. That by itself, I could work with. Throw in the temporary lights up there. Those guys, yep, they're temporary. This is now a space that's workable. I got to admit, that's downright impressive. These guys are like $45-50 on Amazon. And that is a huge improvement. They are outdoor rated, so you can put these outside. But I had a need for them inside the shop, so all is good. And just for clarity's sake, these are Onforu 65 watt. You know, if anyone was curious, these are the knuckle ones, so that way you can aim them. They do have a whole pile of other lights that do all sorts of different functions. Security lights with cameras, motion lights, you name it. They've probably got it to fit your application. So keep in mind, they sent these to me. I think this is a huge improvement over what I had. So there are some links in the description where you can pick up some of these yourself or look at the other products that Onforu offers. So thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.